Sony just put on their biggest state of play ever in terms of runtime. We're talking about 74 minutes here, which is basically a whole Dude, Where's My Car? So here they are, my 3 hot takeaways for the February 2026 State of Play. Number 1, PlayStation really loves Konami. And by the way, let's just address this at this point. Why is he wearing his hood up? It's because I've got like a lot of bangs right now. I've just got a lot of bangs. And I'm like, I've been trying to like, what do I do with this? Do I do this with this? I don't know. Nothing looks right to me. Nothing looks right to me. So that's just what we're doing with this video. Now, there was a really weird moment when we were introduced to somebody new. Peter Brown, game content lead of third-party portfolio. It stood out to me when he said this.
We were really impressed when Konami approached us with their list of announcements for today's State of Play. So to mark the occasion, we wanted to try something a little different.
So I find it funny that we're basically just observing a fair bit of mutual back scratching. The name of the studio Konami shot their on-camera bits in is not important to us at all, but it shows a certain amount of professional respect from PlayStation to Konami. And for their part, Konami did bring a lot of good stuff in the Konami block. There's Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, which includes Metal Gear Solid 4. There's Darwin's Paradox, Castlevania Belmont's Curse, Silent Hill Townfall, which actually I think looks really cool, and Rev Noir, which I have nothing nice to say about. Darwin's Paradox, the octopus game, was revealed in a State of Play last February. And what's funny is the presentation back then was almost disturbingly Nintendo Direct-like.
Use Darwin's natural camouflage and inking skills to escape the facility and save the world from aliens.
This year they took a different approach. They skipped straight to a Metal Gear Solid crossover. Yeah, that got your attention, didn't it? And then a whole new trailer just to reintroduce you to this octopus game that you might have forgotten about in 12 months. That's a back scratch. Because I don't think when Peter was looking at this list of Konami games, he said, oh my God, Darwin's Paradox is in this? We got to get him in the studio. Well, the other announcements were so nice, it's not a big deal to just toss that one in too. No big whoop. And look, I don't even think Darwin's Paradox looks like bad or boring. I think it looks unique. I think it looks fun. But it definitely got this opportunity because of who its parents are. Rev Noir does look boring. It doesn't look bad as in flawed. It just looks like it doesn't have anything going on for it. Which leads me to hot takeaway number 2. Should we be nice about games that have nothing going on? It's probably going to have to be a whole video in itself. Just about the chillingly swift and like openly admitted failures of 2XKO and High Guard that happened in the last 7 days. But again, I'm here in a video just wondering if it's okay to acknowledge how clearly doomed a video game is. This is just for anybody. Anybody watching 74 minutes of new video game footage, it's going to become clear to you that for any game to stand out, it has to have something going on. Here's a positive example. Project Windless, this clearly has something going on. It's the Giant Rooster game. You understand the two important things. What it is and what is unique about it. 4Loop is the game I want to draw attention to, which I've already been rather rude to on this YouTube channel. From J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Games and Mike Booth, the creator of Left 4 Dead, is the nicest thing you could say about this game. 4Loop came off of a ho-hum reveal to give you a ho-hum gameplay demonstration. It's presented as like a mini deep dive. Like, let's explain what this game's about. And unfortunately, no, you probably already kind of understood what that game was about from its reveal. I'd argue if 4Loop's audience was potentially underwhelmed after that reveal, it wasn't because they were confused about how the game is played, right? What I'm saying is people got what it is. The problem lies in what is different, what's unique, what makes this game stand out. And here they took this opportunity with this massive audience here to explicitly demonstrate this game's unique abilities that you can acquire while on a run. There's this thing that teleports a big enemy somewhere else. I actually think that's cool. And the second example is turning invisible to one-hit kill a big enemy by shooting the red orb on its back. Imagine the possibilities of turning invisible for a little while. And there's also portals. What I'm saying is this project, which by the way does look pretty rough, looks not ready for a beta yet, still fails to continue to present a key thing, character design, ability, weapon, anything, critter, anything to make it stand out. So in an attempt to not be rude about this, to be constructive, I have a proposal for For Loop. Hear me out. I believe we can increase the revenue of this video game if you simply put eyeballs on the cube. I legitimately believe in my heart, if you just do this with the cube, you will make, at the very least, $35,000 more than you would have otherwise. And are you really willing to say no to that kind of money right now? You know, there's always these Tolkien heads out there who are like, in the books, the Eye of Sauron is not a physical manifestation. There's no flaming eyeball in any of the books. And you think, yeah, but it's actually better and cooler this way. It works. The movie is better because it's a flaming eyeball. For Loop, give us something to work with is what I'm saying. Give us a reason to fear and hate the giant cube other than the lasers we have to walk over. And finally, hot takeaway number 3. So you're just allowed to show wobbling tatas like that. Against all odds, a re-release of Dead or Alive 6 was announced with brand new features, such as this.
新たなフォトモードの追加を行ったタイトルです。
You know, it's presented almost like, what? We're just moving a character around in photo mode. What did you see? It's like, I saw what I saw. You have to realize, though, that your IP is precious. It must be protected. There must be limits. You can't just let gamers take your characters and shake them around like bottles of salad dressing. They also had a teaser for a new Dead or Alive game, The Next Chapter. And the thing is, there's basically a trend when you're revealing a new 3D fighter of extreme close-ups of character models. Street Fighter did it. Tekken did it. Virtua Fighter did it. Now, which body part do you think Dead or Alive is going to have an extreme close-up of? Yeah, the tatas. And I guess we're expecting that at this point. But here's the thumbnail. There it is. You've already established the tone of your whole franchise. Here's the thing, though. The whole point of those other teaser trailers for those other fighting games is that you're so impressed with this footage. You're pretty sure by the time the game comes out, it can't possibly look this good. And in the case of Dead or Alive here, it doesn't even seem like they're attempting to do anything above what your baseline assumption already was. They're not showing you anything new. They're not even being next-gen horny, is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to figure out how to say this politely in a video on YouTube, but like maybe if there was an extreme close-up of an ankle with a vein on it, then you would say, that's next gen. This is something, a whole new level of what I thought they could pull off. What kind of cracks me up is that whole portion of the state of play wasn't just a couple of trailers back to back. It was presented. Now, they had series producer Yosuke Hayashi politely standing there like, I'm about to show you some extremely horny stuff. Right, the Rev Noir producer, just telling you how enthused he is to do this. He's trying to make a game with a sense of adventure, right? And in essentially the exact same delivery and manner, Koei Tecmo says, if you like large breasts, buckle in. What's PlayStation going to do? Not put that stuff in the state of play? Sony's like, hey, play has no limits. All right, we've always said that. And those are my hot takeaways. And while I realize that this video wasn't functionally different from a delayed input at all, I am now asking you to please look forward to the return of delayed input next week. Until then, thanks for watching. Every time I do one of these after a big show, there's always some trailers that I want to acknowledge, but don't fit into any hot takeaways necessarily. And for that, we have this cherished segment, top 2, bottom 2, bonus 2. Top 2, on the top we got Control Resonant. I like it when video games use this opportunity just that they're in the middle of this long-form showcase to show you what it's like to play the video game. So it's nice to see a video game inhale and exhale and just show off its mechanics gradually. It's nice, man. Not everything's got to be like piping hot, quick cut trailers, you know? Also in the top 2, Kana, Scars of Cosmora. The game looks nice, right? It looks nice. Great faces. You animated these well. But there's a moment when I'm watching this trailer and I think, okay, show the game though. Show the environments of the game. And then they do. And they look great. They look fun to explore. And then they show you what it's like to fight in the game. You know, you could do both. You can have the well-constructed, well-laid-out demos, and then you can still have, you know, some piping hot trailers. That's a piping hot trailer. Bottom 2, God of War Trilogy Remake. Just felt like this trailer was really cheap. And then after the title reveal, when you're meant to be surprised, they brought out the original voice actor for Kratos, T.C. Carson, and he explains that they've barely started developing this. And while I'm glad they did stress that for once, they said it's going to be a while. It'll be a while. It does kind of add to the utter pointlessness of even announcing it at this moment. I just feel like sometimes when I'm watching these shows, they're treating the audience like children at a birthday party magic show. Just a bunch of moms egging us on like, wow, kids, huh? Wow. How'd he do that? It's a remake, huh? Clap. On the bottom of the bottom 2 is Death Stranding 2's PC trailer. I guess when you don't have like a lot of like new features to talk about, like you got widescreen to demonstrate, they were just struggling to put new stuff into this trailer and then just definitely spoiled some things that should not have been in a trailer for people who have not played this game yet. They gotta stop doing that. And now for bonus 2, you know what I love? Lost content as bonus features. So Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition had like a prototype. Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered says you're going to be able to play some cut content. I feel like that's pretty much the coolest thing you could do in a remastered package. I love that. Now, in Legacy of Kain's case, they showed this cool skull thing. Apparently, this is a demo for an unreleased sequel that never came out. That is exclusive to the digital deluxe version of that game. That stinks, but I'm thinking still though, it stinks, but still pretty cool. You know what else I like? Gyro controls for Time Crisis. Like, I don't presume that PlayStation 1 re-releases are a hot ticket item on the PlayStation Store, or even a primary driver for people who are subscribed to the PlayStation Plus premium tier. So when someone goes out of their way to allow you to control the reticle in Time Crisis by just moving your controller around, just putting in that little extra effort, I'm just saying that's a neat thing. I'm not praising it. I'm not saying it's top 2. I'm saying bonus 2. I'm not crazy about it. I'm just saying that was a cool thing. That's worth one sentence in a video. You know what I'm saying?